Welcome to the Record Machine Show podcast. And now, here's your host, James Michael Hollenstein.
We got a great show for you lined up this week, folks. Americana and country recording artist Lissa Dee is on the program. She has a brand new single, Home Like Montana. We're going to play that for you right now, and then we'll dive right into the conversation once the song's over. Here we go.
What I'm searching for is a place to call my home. California feels a little like a broken road, and I'm scared to see the only home I've known to be true is one I've only seen in pictures and movies. The place where the horses know my name. The only pickup line is what you're doing at supper time. Place a little heaven in your hands. The cowboys understand 406 ain't just a brand. I want a home like Montana. Oh, Montana. Can I say that I'm in love, though I've never touched or felt it? In my mind I feel the wind on my skin up in the mountains. Rivers flow with hope under a sky filled with stars. Can't you see why this place is tugging on my heart? The place where the horses know my name. The only pickup line, what you doing at supper time? Place a little heaven in your hands. The cowboys understand 406 ain't just a brand. I want a home like Montana. Oh, Montana. Not just a feeling, I know it's real, 'cause it's calling me by name, and I'm rushing in, rushing in. Not just a feeling, I know it's real, 'cause big sky's got some room for my lost little heart. The place where the horses know my name. The only pickup line, what you doing at supper time? Place a little heaven in your hands. The cowboys understand 406 ain't just a brand. I want a home like Montana. Oh, Montana.
That is the brand new single by Lissa Dee, Home Like Montana. And we have her on the line. Let's bring her in. So how you doing, Lissa?
I'm good.
Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from South Jersey.
Get out of here.
I know.
Really?
Yeah.
What part?
Near Medford Lakes.
Oh, okay. I grew up in Bergen County, New Jersey.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, a town called Richfield Park. Then I moved to Central Jersey, and then now I live in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, beautiful.
So you're originally from South Jersey. Where are you residing now?
Right now I'm in San Diego, but I've kind of been going back and forth between here and Nashville.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You playing a lot of gigs out there in Nashville?
I'm playing a couple gigs. I'm songwriting and networking, meeting with people. So it's been it's been a great way to stay motivated in between the lulls that I have in San Diego, because it's not really like a music city, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it keeps me busy and positive, I guess.
You plan on leaving San Diego at some point?
I've thought about it, but I'm not sure. I think that a lot of things can still be done back and forth. And I know a lot of people encourage you to move to a place like Nashville, but at the same time, there's so much done online that I don't know if it's totally necessary, but we'll see.
Yeah, I know a few people that left LA and moved to Nashville. They love it.
It's definitely a magical kind of a place.
Yeah, one of my friends, he owns the Eighth Room. You ever hear of that club?
Oh yeah,
Jason Hollis.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet, but I'm definitely gonna check it out when I make my trip to Nashville. So
Definitely.
yeah, he's a cool guy, and he has like a lot of pretty cool bands and artists play there too. So I think Skid Row was there a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So at what age did you start, writing and playing your own music?
So I have always been involved in music from a young age, doing dance, voice lessons, music, chorus, different things. And I ended up going to school for music. I went to college for music, and I didn't really know which route I was going to go because I was afraid to fully commit to a performance degree, because my dad is first generation American and his parents are from the Ukraine and France. So after they moved here, he was just so driven to work, and my mom was a teacher, and she's from Texas, and just, the American lifestyle was to work, and that was really instilled in them. So I was really afraid to take that deep dive, which I should have gone to a performance school all along. But I was kind of not sure what to do. So I was kind of going to school for like music education, and then I changed my major around a couple of times. Anyway, I ended up graduating with a communications degree from Penn State. And then I started writing my own songs after school, because after I moved back to Jersey, I was still really longing for music and just wanting to do performance. So that's when I actually started writing, after I went to college. And yeah.
Very cool. Who are some of your biggest musical influences, and how have they shaped your style, would you say?
I've always really loved Christina Aguilera. I obviously don't sound like her, but I love her vocal riffs and her incredible range and just the soulfulness of her voice, as well as Amy Winehouse. So I sometimes would try in ways to mimic certain things that both of those singer-songwriters have done. And then I also love Chris Stapleton. I love Lainey Wilson, Miranda Lambert, lots of different artists. I think definitely the soulfulness I've gotten from some of those initial singer-songwriters I've talked about, as well as Etta James. I used to love listening to her. So I think that shapes the soulfulness in my voice, which is great, because I feel like not many country artists have that kind of soulful sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that makes you an original, right?
I hope so.
That's pretty cool. Now, this podcast will feature two of your tracks, Home Like Montana and Empty Bottle. What's the story behind those two songs?
Empty Bottle, that song, it's kind of a metaphor for me overcoming some struggles that I had just in my life, with whether it be like alcohol or just not feeling like I was enough, or certain just things that I went through. So the chorus says, you're never going to change, but it's a metaphor for being able to overcome and change. So yeah, that song I wrote a couple of years ago, and I wrote it with a couple of incredible songwriters here in San Diego. That was my first introduction to working with some Grammy nominated and winning players. So it was just a magical and incredible experience working on that song. And I had Trisha Yearwood's lead guitarist, Johnny Garcia, play on that song. So it was just... it was so much fun, and I was like kind of feeling validated at that point. Like, okay, this thing I've been doing for so long, I finally got some great musicians working with me and believing in me. So that song's just overall really special to me. And it was nominated for an award this year as well.
Nice.
Yeah, with the San Diego Music Awards.
Very cool.
So yeah, that was Empty Bottle. And then Home Like Montana, that song is about many, many things. But let's see. I guess initially it's kind of inspired by the show Yellowstone.
Great show.
Which I love, yes. And then also... so the reason I like that show is because my husband's brother and father are ranchers and team ropers, and we all love Yellowstone. And so I kind of wrote that song because I was feeling like I missed a place like where he grew up, which is actually in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the people are just so amazing there and nice and special. And so I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about, beautiful places and all sorts of things. And for some reason, I came up with wanting a home like Montana. So that's where that one came from.
Very cool. Now, will there be a music video for this single?
There is one in progress. I actually kind of was just filming one for fun. And then this gal who I know from Ramona, which is another beautiful part of California. It looks kind of like Montana. She is a barrel racer, and she rides horses, and she's a little cowgirl, and she agreed to shoot a little video with me. So we are going to do just a cute little low budget video.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
You got a timetable on that, when it's going to be released?
Probably within the next 2 months, if that.
Very cool. Now, when composing a new song, what comes first for you, the lyrics or the melody?
Definitely the lyrics. Mm-hmm. So I typically will just be, if I'm going to sit down and write a song,
mm-hmm.
I'll either think about an idea or a word or something, thinking, okay, I want to write something about this. And then I'll just kind of start playing around with a verse or something, and then Sometimes I use my guitar, but for the most part, I leave it to the professionals because I am no, I am no, like professional in that. I'm got my skills in singing and songwriting, not playing instruments. So I work with a couple of songwriters, and I have my little songwriting team, and we all work together to make it sound the best
That's
that it
cool.
can.
Do you use
Yeah.
any like special tools, like any software or anything like that when you're doing your songwriting?
Um, no, not really. I just typically have a pen and a paper. But what I have been doing, interestingly, is if I'm writing a song about something that I don't know about, like a place like Montana or Louisiana or somewhere I've never been, I'll start, using ChatGPT to ask it questions about the place, like what bugs live there, what animals live there, or just really weird things that can give me an idea, which is really helpful.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Another artist I interviewed was telling me they use that. They said it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't use it to write my verses or anything, but just like getting ideas for, I don't know, what's there.
I think she said she used it to write her press release,
Oh, that's awesome.
and it actually came out good.
Yeah.
Because she was asking me, "Oh, do you know anybody that does that?" And I said, "Well, why don't you do it yourself?" And she goes,
Yeah.
"Well, I never did that before." I go, "Well, you should try." And then she did, and then she called me back and she said, "Yeah, you know what? You were right." She's like, "Check this out. What do you think?" I'm like,
That's awesome.
That's pretty damn good." She's like, "I'm glad you pushed me into doing this because I used to pay people to do it."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, if you're on a budget and you're, what do they call that? DIY. You got to do everything yourself.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely made things a lot easier for musicians.
Of course. How do you view the trend of artists releasing more singles and EPs as opposed to full-length albums?
I personally have a love-hate relationship with that because it is very demanding on us to constantly create. And I'm not in a position where I'm recording in a low budget studio anymore. I'm working with a lot of industry folks that have just been in the game for a really long time and have a large resume of artists, because that's who I'm competing against. So recording and all that is not cheap. So having to put out so many singles is it's a lot. But at the same time, I think it's just what we have to we have to always keep up with the trends. Because if we stay behind, it may not work out for us. So I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to release a single every couple of weeks.
It's kind of like the old days now, right? Remember back in the day when that's all they did was put out singles. Mm-hmm. You'd go to the record store and you'd buy the 45 with the A side and then the other song, the B side.
Mm-hmm. That's so true.
It seems like it's going back, back in time. Like, first it started out with singles, then it was albums. Now it seems like, singles are more popular now.
Right. Which, I guess it is overall easier for people to listen to and decide if they like you or not.
Do you plan on like taking all the singles that you have put out so far and eventually put out a full-length album?
I have a lot of music that I haven't been able to record yet that I think will be a part of a cohesive album, but it would not be for at least 8 months until they're all out. So I'm thinking about it, but at the same time, I guess, I don't know. Like, does anyone even really care if you have an album or not anymore?
I love listening to albums. You know,
Okay.
I buy music all the time, like full length CDs. I have a huge vinyl collection, and I still have my 45s and my 8-track tapes that I listen to. So I got a whole studio full of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess it depends on the person. Some people don't have a good attention span. They just like to listen to, a single here and there, or I don't. Do you have Spotify? Do you like listen?
Yes.
Do you listen to stuff on Spotify or not really?
I do.
Yeah, I have an account, but I don't really listen to music off of it.
Oh, really?
No, not really. A lot of times when I have artists on, they send me the music. And I just burn it onto a CD and I listen to it in my car because I still have a CD player in my car.
Yeah.
They don't make CD players. They don't make cars with CD players in them anymore. I think the last one they did was like 2019, I think.
Yeah. Well, I heard that CDs are coming back. A lot of people in the industry keep saying that. So maybe it'll be worth a lot someday.
When you do shows and stuff like that, do you sell merchandise?
I have a couple of little things like t-shirts and whatnot, but I just haven't really invested all of that into merch because there's so many other things that I have to invest in.
Yeah, I hear you. Now, can you tell us about any upcoming shows, projects, or releases that you're excited about?
Yeah, I have a Christmas song that I'm going to be putting out in December. And then after that, right at the very end of December, I'm putting out another song also about like ranchers and cowboys. It's called He Ain't Just a Cowboy. It's a really awesome song. I have a similar lineup of people, including the guy Johnny I mentioned, as well as my friend Isaiah, who plays with the Black Crows. He's really awesome shredder guitar. I met this really awesome girl, Allison, in Nashville, and she's a fiddle player, so I'm gonna have her actually do a couple passes on my song. And then I've written a couple of songs with Johnny in Nashville. So I've got those coming out. And as far as shows, I've got a couple coming up here in San Diego, just some little festivals between now and November. And then in December, I'm singing at this huge rodeo in Las Vegas. So I'm really excited about that. I'm nervous, but I'm going to be singing the national anthem. So, yeah, I'm super excited. It's kind of, I don't know, it's still like not real. I can't believe it.
Have you been practicing?
Yeah, I've sang it for a lot of events around here in San Diego.
So you know the words, right?
Yes.
You're not going to forget.
No. I've been singing that since high school, so I've never been afraid about forgetting those words, but just like I want it to be a really great impression because like everybody at that rodeo, those are my people. Those are going to be my fans. So I have to somehow stand out and make them want to find out who I am and listen to my music. Yeah,
maybe someone from Yellowstone will be there and they'll have you come on the show and do a bar scene or something.
I would love that.
That'd be pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Outside of music, do you have any hobbies or interests?
So in 2023, I did my first bodybuilding competition.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of a random thing that I did, but I had wanted to get in good shape for a long time, and I was going to this bodybuilding gym, and a lot of the girls there who I knew did this competition, so I just decided I wanted to do it. And it was really eye-opening for me to understand just so much about like what food, how much I'm supposed to actually eat in the day, because growing up in the 90s, like, you know, at least my mom just didn't really instill the best dietary
Right.
things. I'd be like, I'm gonna eat an apple and that's it today. So no, like realized that I have to eat a lot of food. And anyway, it was just very eye-opening, and the preparation was insane, so that made me very motivated to understand how much I can endure. So that was awesome.
How does that work though? Like when you know you're going to compete in a competition like that, what kind of diet do you have to go on? Is it no carbs, right?
So when you first start, I had a 5-month prep. So when you first start, the diet is like a normal diet. You're still eating rice, chicken, veggies, and potatoes, and you eat like that multiple times a day, and it's fine. But then once you get closer and closer to the show, your carbs go down, and you could be eating like a half cup of rice multiple times a day, and then it'll go down. So eventually, yes, you're eating like a rice cake with tilapia at 5 a.m, and it's horrible.
No alcohol, right?
No alcohol, yeah.
No ice
That was
cream.
bad. Nothing.
So basically it's all like protein and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. But that really horrible part is only the last couple of weeks, and by that point you're just like so close to the show you don't care. So but for the most part you're on a normal diet and it's fine. I don't know if I'm gonna do another show, but that was something I did as, I guess, a hobby.
That was last year, you said?
Yeah, last June.
Yeah, I saw the pic on Instagram. I mean, you looked fabulous in the pic.
Thank you.
You look like you worked your ass off to get in shape for that. That's why I was wondering, like, how does one prepare for that? I mean, your body must go into shock at first, right?
Well, yes, it does, and everyone's body is different. So for me, I had a really hard time getting rid of this one like area of belly fat because of how I had been eating and treating my body for years and years. So it can like lose weight and then just stay stagnant, or another person could have like a 10-pack of abs in like 3 months. So it's kind of like just a whole, I don't know, like a mind game. But once you're motivated and you get there, you're like, okay, cool.
But you've been busy a lot with the music, so you might not even have time to do one right now, right?
No, I want to, because it's kind of an amazing accomplishment, but at the same time, you have no life.
Yeah.
Except for that. So
and
I don't know.
Do you lift a lot of weights too, or is that mostly cardio?
It's both. It's weightlifting, and a lot of, my coach had me do stair stepper.
Okay.
So I was doing, well, you're going to think this is crazy, but by the end, I was doing an hour and 45 minutes of stair stepper a day.
Holy smokes.
I know. But it didn't start out that way. So you think it's all fine and dandy until you realize Oh my gosh, what am I doing?
Have you ever run a marathon?
No,
Maybe try that.
I hate running.
Oh, okay. Well, that's out of the question then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done that either. I used to go to the gym when I was younger, but I haven't been to a gym in a long time. I had problems with my shoulder and stuff like that, so I thought, yeah, screw it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? To each their own. It's like, who cares?
So besides that, do you have any other hobbies?
Living out in San Diego, there's like so much I could do outdoors. So I do that. I do a lot of outdoor activities, like sometimes surf, hiking, go to the beach, whatever there is to do, I do. I love trying new food. I love just hanging out with my friends. But for the most part, I just gig, go to the gym, and work on my music. That's basically it lately.
That's cool. At least you keep them busy, right?
Yeah.
Where can the listeners go to learn more about you?
So everything is on my website, musicbylissa.com. That is Lissa, Lissa, musicbylissa.com. There's all my gigs there, a couple of unreleased songs I have on there, videos, and all my social medias are on there too, my Instagram and YouTube and everything.
Awesome. Now, is there anything you'd like to mention that we didn't talk about today?
I guess maybe if I could just give some advice to other musicians who are starting out. I definitely have felt very discouraged many times for not getting opportunities and things like that. But I think the best advice would be just continue to always ask for opportunities and make yourself seem as professional as possible on your website and on your emails and everything like that. And if you are your true self, people will really gravitate towards you and they will want to get to know you and they'll want to hear your story and they will eventually book you.
That's pretty good advice.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. I really enjoyed chatting with you about your life and your music.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'd love to chat more and, come back anytime.
Well, you're more than welcome to come back. Anytime you want to chat about something you're putting out, maybe a video, or if you got shows coming up, or maybe that album we were talking about, I'd love to have you back on, all right?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and best of luck with the video and the new single, all right?
Thank you.
All right, you enjoy the rest of your night, all right?
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Said I needed someone to listen to my frustrations, my flaws, mess ups, and limitations. Empty bottle again. No better way to clear my head. Am I slipping to the distance? Will I find time to show up, make a difference? So I bring the bottle. Empty bottle again and again.
Machine Show is a weekly radio podcast produced by Jimmy Hall Productions. All rights reserved. For information regarding distribution or adding this podcast to your website, please visit our contact page at therecordmachineshow.com to submit your request. Thanks for listening. See you next time on The Record Machine Show.
The Record Machine Show.